All right, so one last batch here. All right, so what we're going to do again, distribute to get rid of this set of parentheses. So negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x, negative 2 times 8, negative 16. The right side, no change. Well, now we have x's and numbers, and over here we have numbers. So to get rid of the 16, we'll have to add 16 to both sides. That cancels, so we have negative 4x equals 16 minus 8 is 8. Now we divide by negative 4 because there was multiply, so to divide we get rid of it. And so now we have x equals 8 divided by 4 is 2, and positive divided by negative is negative, so we have a negative 2. Now does that calculate for a check? Minus 2 times negative 2 plus 8 equals negative 8. Here we have negative 4 plus 8, so 8 minus 4 is 4. And so we have negative 2 times 4 equals negative 8, and so negative 8 equals negative 8. It does check. Okay, the next one. Again, we have to get rid of those parentheses first. So we distribute negative 8x, and then we have minus 5x plus 15 equals 15. Well, here we have x's all together, so let's get rid of that 15. So we're going to subtract 15 from both sides. So minus 8, minus 5, minus 13x. 15 minus 15 is 0. Now we divide by negative 13. X equals 0. Anything 0 divided by anything is going to give us the 0. Now we plug that back into this, so we have a negative 8 times 0 minus 5 times 0 minus 3 equals 15. Well, when we distribute here, this is 0, that goes to 0, and we have a negative 5 times negative 3, which is 15, equals 15, so that does check. All right, so our last two. How about we go ahead and distribute here and distribute here. So 5 times a negative x, that's a negative 5x. 5 times a negative 4, negative 20. Negative times a negative is positive, so we have x. Negative times a positive is negative, so we have negative 8. Now we can go different directions. We can say, well, let's make it always have a positive x. And so that means we'd add 5x to both sides, which means we'll add 8 to both sides as well. So that cancels that. That cancels that. Now we have minus 20 plus 8. Well, we can just go ahead and borrow here. 10 minus 8 is 2, 1, and it's a negative. 5x plus 1x is 6x. Now we can divide by 6, and x equals negative 2. Okay. Now, does that actually compute for a check? Well, let's check. 5 times a negative, and it's a negative 2 minus 4 equals negative, negative, negative. Well, that's a lot of negatives. And then plus 8. All right, so on the left, this negative and this negative cancel. So here we have 2 minus 4, and that's going to give us a minus 2. So 5 times a minus 2 is a minus 10. Here, that negative cancels that negative, and we get positive. And so that's 8 plus 2 is 10. That says a negative of it, so it's a negative 10 as well. And so both sides check, and that is the solution. Once again, we're going to distribute. So 5 times that's negative 20x. 5 times that's negative 40. Here we get negative times negative is positive, so 9 times 6 is 54x, and 9 times 4 is negative 36, then minus 4. All right, so here we add those together, so we get negative 20x minus 40 equals 54x minus 40. Let's take and add 20 to that side and add 20x to that side, and let's add 40 here, and let's add 40 here. So those cancel, those cancel. Well, I guess 40 minus 40 is 0 equals 64x divided by 64. So x equals 0 is the solution we get. So now we have to plug that in up here. So that's 0. And so we have 5 times negative 8, so that's a negative 40. Well, that's 0. So we have negative 9 times 4, so it's a negative 36, then minus 4. Well, negative 40 equals negative 40, and that checks as well. All right, so that's all I have for this section.